Once upon a dream, once there was a time like no other time before. Hope was still an open door. Once upon a dream, and I was unafraid. The dream was so exciting, but now I see it fade, and I am here alone. Once upon a dream, you were heaven sent to me. Was it never meant to be? Was it just a dream? Could we begin again? Once upon a
Yeah, wow, beautiful. Thank you so much. Wow.
You're so welcome.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. Today I'm here with the incredible Rachael Ward, a beautiful and incredible singer, actor, dancer. Thank you so much for being here, Rachel. How
I'm
exciting.
so happy to be here. This is fun.
Super fun. Wow. So this is a piece from kind of the musical theater tradition, right?
Yes, Jacqueline Hyde. It's a
Jacqueline
gorgeous
Hyde.
piece.
Nice.
And one I've never done before, so this is definitely a debut.
Oh,
but
right,
one
awesome.
that I love the story of. I think it's I mean, not only is it musically gorgeous, but the story is gorgeous, the lyrics are gorgeous, and I
Yeah.
just wanted to share that today because it just feels so relevant.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Really beautiful. So delicate and like, yeah, it's beautiful. Loved it. And so powerful. You know, when it goes up there, it's just magical. Really
Yeah.
good.
That's what I love about musical theatre. It tells beautiful stories, and the fact that we can convey them through song is just so much more powerful and resonating to me.
Totally.
So
It's
that's
super
why I do
cool.
it.
Awesome. Thank you. And music, what is it? You know, how did you begin singing? Do your parents sing? What does music came to you?
So only one of my family, absolutely. I think my granddad's mother played piano. Maybe there was an artist in the family somewhere, but straight off the bat, nobody.
Yeah.
But I think Mum could kind of see I was a performer. So I was thrown in ballet class at 3, and then I was singing class at 5, acting at 6. And so I think, honestly, it's all I knew.
Oh,
But
did you do like shows at home when you were a little girl for your parents? Like
I'm an
holding
only
the brush, the
child.
hairbrush?
So I didn't really, and because no one else in my family did it, I was very shy as a kid.
Oh, really?
So I think I was a bit of a closet singer or something, and
okay.
I would never let anyone hear me practice. I was an absolute perfectionist.
Oh, wow.
But I've gotten better as I've gotten older. But I was definitely, at every birthday, I'd stand and sing a song, or
really?
something like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's super
but
cute.
I was so shy that I definitely didn't give concerts free willingly. No, they definitely came at a price.
Like some chocolate cake.
Yeah, exactly. Or some gnocchi in my case.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
that was my favorite.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what about training? Like, did you go to university for singing? How Is it just singing, or is it like singing, dancing, and acting? Like, was
so
there all the three together? All the
I
way
did
through?
all three all the way. Dance took a bit more of a priority when I was younger.
Yeah.
But then once I remember I was doing full-time ballet, and I hit the age of about 15, and I went, you know what, I don't think this is actually for me, this path. I was standing at the ballet bar. I actually remember this moment. I was standing there and I was doing a tondu exercise at QB and all that jazz came on. The pianists were doing fondue, and I started to sing. And I was like, something's happening. You know, I just knew in that moment that there was something more to what I had to do. And then I remember I did my first pro-am musical and I was like, oh, right, this is
gonna make sense.
I've got to sing, dance, and act, and so that's what led me on to musical theatre.
Yeah, wow.
But it's funny you ask. I mean, I've done so much private tuition constantly, but I got into university to study musical theatre. But I literally a day earlier I accepted a musical theatre contract.
Wow,
so
really?
I just looked up to the universe and went, okay, looks like I'm meant to work. And this was like 2 weeks into being 18. I did that and got that job, and then
that's fantastic.
and then I was like, oh, well, I'll go back.
Yeah, that's the best university in the world. Like, that's the best school, like the gig, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And so I learnt, I'm very much one of those people that have learnt on the gig because simply I think the universe is just, that's what they handed me. I certainly wanted to do my degree, but the universe had other plans, so I just had to go, okay. You know, you can't resist these things.
Absolutely. So, that's fantastic. Oh, well done. That's super cool. And what was the first production that you did?
Chicago.
Chicago. Wow. So cool.
It's a show for me that I feel like I did so young. Being 18 and doing Chicago is it's a lot, I think. And then I've revisited it, and I don't think it's gone in my future. I feel like it's one of those shows that I feel like you can really grow with maturity, experience, and all that. But yes, it's certainly a shock at that age. Yes,
it's a very raunchy and like
really raunchy. Particularly, you can imagine being a full-time ballet student and
oh god,
stepping into that world. But it was fantastic for me. It's obviously what I needed. I needed life experience. I needed to be amongst people. I needed to act, and I had such brilliant artistic experiences on that particular contract, and a lot of personal experience, which really shaped me as a person and a performer. All the things you want in life. But I was lucky to be on a contract during that life experience.
Yeah, how cool! Well done. That's fantastic. Yeah. And you got to travel a lot, right? Like with, because of that.
Yeah.
So that's fascinating. And, how was it like, like as an artist, as a young artist, you know what I mean? Already be thrown like into the world like that, you know? Did you have any like crazy experience going, what am I doing here on the other side of the world? Or?
Well, yeah, I remember the first time, I remember that, I remember laying in mum's bed with her, like before going, I don't think I can go. You always have that fear factor, but if I'm honest, I've always known, at 15 actually, I went to LA on this scholarship, and that was kind of a big year actually, a lot of transition for me personally. And I just remember just landing in LA and going, okay, this is me. And I knew my heart was overseas. So for me, when I actually did leave at 18, it was just a no-brainer, and it was just the beginning of adventures. And honestly, I spent 5 years really touring back and forth around the States. I spent a period of time in London. I spent quite a considerable time in Paris. And, I did a couple of ships which were around the Baltic Sea and all these things, and a contract took me to Tokyo. And honestly, now that, because of the global pandemic, I'm so grateful that I had those experiences. But for me traveling, it was obviously scary because I was all alone, but there was nothing stopping me. Nothing.
You knew, right?
Oh, and I still know.
Yeah, sure.
I still know. Obviously, external forces can stop you, but I don't think anyone can stop what's in their heart.
Yeah, exactly.
So where there's a will, there's a way. So
absolutely,
you're never going to know the path exactly.
Yeah, how is it going to go?
How are you actually going to get there? But
totally.
I think if you have a goal, if you can dream it, you can do it, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I come from the same kind of experience. I think, I was like 17 years old when I went to London from Italy. I was living in Italy, and like things were going well there. So basically ran away from home, went to London, and then kind of like music just, became this, this thing that gave me so much joy. I would spend hours, writing songs and playing, and then kind of like, 20 years later, I look back and think, I looked after music and music looked after me. Do you know what I mean? Like if you really have, you're meant to do it and you really do it for love, I don't know, it's funny.
Oh, but 100%.
you know.
And I love the fact that you just said you ran away to London. I kind of had like a similar experience. I was literally floating in the middle of the ocean on a contract, and it was 2 weeks till I was meant to go back home to Australia, and I was like, I don't want to go. And I remember I just approached this school, and I privately studied some singing acting in London. I said,
Nice.
hey, can I rock up to London in 2 weeks and do your course? And they were
Yeah.
like, sure. And so literally I diverted my flight, called my mum, and I was like, hey, mum and dad, I'm not coming home. And so, yeah, I think it's brilliant, especially when you're younger, what the things you do. I think it's those courageous acts which
Absolutely,
get
right.
you anywhere. I don't think you
Exactly, yeah.
can't be courageous
Totally, yeah.
and follow with your gut and your heart.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially in this career.
Absolutely,
I don't
right?
think you get
Yeah,
anywhere.
totally.
Yeah, if you followed like just sense.
If you use logic, you know what I mean? It's like, it has to be an emotional decision. If you use logic, it's like, stay away from
Like,
music.
is this a safe
Doesn't make
decision?
any sense. Yeah,
No.
totally.
You literally have a bikini in your backpack, Rachel. How are you going to go in London? Terribly. I think it's what shapes you.
Cool, awesome.
Yeah.
And like, what's your favorite place, of all these places you visited? Like,
Oh gosh, favorite place. Well, as I said,
musically, I guess. I mean, sure, I'm sure you're going to say
musically.
Italy for the spaghetti. But
well, Italy because of the family. I certainly had a bit of a treat there when I was there. Well, it certainly didn't serve me in terms of my dance and acting career. I feel with the pasta. I think I left there and wanted to die. But
What have I done?
but maybe
What
my
have
heart,
they done?
maybe my heart was filled.
Yeah,
It was actually
absolutely.
a very contrasting trip. I remember I did when I was 15 because I did go from like Italy and seeing my family to like this 2 weeks intensive dance, and I thought it was a bit of a tough ask, but you can do anything when you're 15. But yeah, look, in terms of music and inspiration, I think I'm lucky because, like, as I said, LA and New York, I mean, you see everything.
Yeah, sure.
But I feel what was cool was kind of going between like Paris and seeing different, stylistically in Tokyo. Like, I don't know, there's just I'm a really worldly person and I really appreciate different cultures coming together and collaborating and their style and what's unique to them. And so, I actually can't pinpoint one in my mind, but I've certainly got enough experiences, like when I worked on a show in Paris with Parisians, and then there's just me. The different work cultures and styles.
Did you notice like
coming
also
together.
the audiences are different, like in different cultures?
Oh my gosh, I'll never
super
forget.
cool, yeah.
I'll never forget. I remember I was doing a show, and forgive me, we were somewhere in Scandinavia, and nobody clapped or did not. It was and forgive me, it was somewhere. I
Very
really,
proper.
it was just silent, and it was a comedy show, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm terrible.
Yeah.
Like instantly, you create that story in your head, right? And but as a performer, you have to keep going, right? You can't just go, well, I'm going to call it quits, because, But then at the end, it was a crazy applause, and in Tokyo, they're silent the whole time too, and then we had like 6 curtain calls, and we're sopping wet because we're singing in the rain.
Wow,
so
beautiful.
the culture's so different, and also too, like some of the American cultures on the ships, like, didn't respond too well to shows that we did. In other shows, they just thrived. So
it's cool.
learning a lot as an artist, and also your artist integrity, and keeping the show alive and keeping the same energy and respect for the show, for each performance. It's something you can't read in a textbook or learn.
Yeah,
I'm
or
not
even
sure
at
what's
university, do you know what I mean?
And
In
sure,
a sense.
I don't
'Cause
know
you can
that-
only learn that at a gig, right? You only learn that when you're
yeah.
in a touring and you're performing.
Yeah, well, I think you absolutely. I mean, I'm sure. I genuinely don't know what's obviously in the course curriculum,
Yeah, sure,
but
sure.
I think it's really the experiential part of it which gives you the tools. Hence why I like coaching now, because I feel like I go, hey, and give a bit of an industry insight in there, because you never know what you're going to be thrown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And what else I wanted to ask? I remember, like we were talking about before, like how videographer was saying, oh, we should come up with these kind of cool questions, like asking, what's a great gig you did and what's a crazy gig you did? You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, have you got like, that was a really special
Yeah.
gig to me, and you have like, oh, that's a really...
Yeah, you know what I think, and it's funny we're talking about this same show, but the first time I did Chicago was important to me. I think it was my first show, first time really away from home, first time everything, let's be honest. But I remember in 24 hours was thrust on stage as the lead.
Wow.
And it was a really crazy experience because I'd have no rehearsal, none of that. And it was quite interesting. I didn't really feel like I personally had a lot of support around me.
Of course.
And
is it like opera? It's kind of very competitive world, you know? Like...
Yes. And I was fresh and young and all of those
and
things.
Naive.
And naive and so innocent. And I just remember I did it. And I was so proud of myself. And
excellent.
I think as a perfectionist and a very heavy critic on myself is, I think having a moment of pride, of landing the show and doing your job as a cover, I just had so much pride. So that was a really special moment for me, and one I learnt a lot from, but also I knew I could do it, you know, so that was really beautiful. And then everyone kind of went, oh, she can as well, you know, because when you're starting out, you've got to build your reputation.
Absolutely, and be able to trust yourself, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess that trust comes from being prepared, you know. You've done it, you've done the work, you knew that, hey, you know, I've done my technical stuff, I know how to sing, I know the lyrics, you know, and you can do it, do you know what I mean?
And I think that, like for me, I know people have many different learning styles and performing styles and personality types come into it. As I'm saying, I'm quite a perfectionist, which inhibits, I think, a lot of my creativity, but you know, as I've gotten older, I think, not that I'm old, you know, I've tried to, definitely not. You know, I've really tried to relinquish that element, but honestly, the preparation and detail and dedication which comes from the ballet days has really helped, because if you are prepared and you've got the technique to back you up, then you can surrender and let go to the art.
Right.
But I personally think if you don't have the craft behind you, you could find yourself in very deep waters.
Absolutely,
So, but there's a process to everyone, but that's just that's
but you
just
also
what
have
I
to
feel.
be like out of control, do you know what I mean? Like you say, you
This
have
is
to
what I'm saying.
surrender to
You
the...
have to just intuitively surrender, let go to really produce incredible art. But I think at the same time, if you got no floaties.
Yeah, exactly. Or trying too much, like you try to control everything. You know what I mean? You have to be kind of out of control with the plan. I like to say that.
Yeah,
you know,
I
you know?
love that. No,
Isn't
I
it
do.
cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, no teacher of mine told me that. I was like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
I
like,
think
I better
only experience
practice
can
more.
tell you that, teach you that, because I
Exactly.
think it could be hard to trust that initially. But yeah, when you start to trust yourself and trust your environments and your instrument, your you know, emotional, every spiritual being, everything, your instrument as a whole, you can start to do that. So
Isn't it cool?
yeah.
So okay, so you told me about the
good
Chicago, the good one. That was your great experience. Okay, what's the craziest experience you had in a gig? You know.
I have a couple of little experiences that come to mind.
Yeah.
And these are all just in shows. Like obviously when you're doing, you know, you're doing like maybe 200 shows or whatever, it's live theatre. Like stuff's gonna happen, you know.
Something's gonna go wrong.
Something's gonna go wrong. So a couple, three come to mind. In that first same contract, I remember I was I had to walk across this bandstand and the ship rocked.
Oh, gosh.
And I fell. I was in heels, I was not wearing much, and I fell straight on the guitarist.
Oh my
boom,
God.
back into the bandstand. And it was, I mean, this is a show of such precision and you are cool, calm,
And
collected,
grace.
sensual.
Yeah.
You are on it, and I was flailing. I was everything but that. So a moment. Second one in another production I did of that, I was sliding down the bandstand, which is tricky. Let's just to say that at the least. And I misjudged and I fell straight into the violinist at the bottom.
Oh my God.
So I went, and I totally fell on top of her. I think my main concern was that I thought, I've
hurt someone.
I've broken the
broken
violin.
Stradivarius.
I've
You owe
crushed
$300,000.
this woman.
Yeah.
But then I just had to, because the spotlight was straight on me, you know, to like 2,000 people, and I went, okay. And this is when those moments of artistic integrity just have to keep going, and I didn't know what happened to me.
The show must go on.
Yeah, right. But bless this violinist, Tracy. Honestly, she looked at me and she said, "You're okay." And I went, okay. So that's a moment. And then another one, I was in Singing in the Rain, and in the finale, you're dancing on a really slippery floor. It's literally raining on stage.
Yeah, wow.
And I slipped over and I landed. No, please laugh, because it's very funny in hindsight. I slipped over, I hit my head. And
Oh my God, that's terrible.
I was terrible.
Yeah.
And I woke up And I was like, huh. And I was like playing in water, and I was like, this is fun. What's going on?
Oh, my
and then I
goodness.
started to realize I'm on stage. I just sat up. I would have loved to be like someone's got to be watching me.
Yeah.
And my hat was off, and I was only in a wig cap. And so I must have looked ridiculous in a suit with a cap. And then I was just like, and then I realized I was on stage, and so I just got up. And I kind of just kept doing, but I'd lost everything. I'd lost my umbrella, I lost my hat. I was just flailing around in the rain, and I was a little bit out of it, like a lot out of it, you know. And I was like, just so honestly, so moments like those that
my goodness.
at the time are a little scary, but just live theatre, and you have to laugh about it. So millions of things like that you have to shake off and laugh and just be like. That's life that you got, you know, you don't intend for them to happen, but so many.
Yeah,
there's a couple.
So fun. Isn't that great? Thank you for sharing that.
Oh my God, how embarrassing, but yes.
That's awesome. And I can, like, if you take a couple of steps back, talking about technique and practice, do you have a routine? Like, do you exercise, practice every day?
I'm quite dedicated as a human, I think, which is great, but also to, you know, balance. But no, I treat my instrument as a very holistic being. I always meditate, always to prepare myself mentally, because I feel like if you're not in tune with your instrument and your intuition, and then you're not right mentally, I just don't think anything else flows.
We need to ground ourselves, you know, being there. Otherwise, 10,000
And being an air sign, I need to ground myself so much, right? I'm like flit everywhere. Literally bounce off these walls.
Know the feeling,
right. So I definitely practice that. I eat really well. I eat really healthy and wholesome, because again, I think being a singer, dancer, actor, if you don't treat it well, you know,
it's an instrument, right?
It's an instrument. But and then I'll always do my scales. You know, you know, always, you know, practicing different areas of my voice. But then I'll also make sure I try things out creatively. You know, because I think that's something that we forget to work sometimes. I think coming from ballet particularly as well, you can be really like, well, this is ABC, and you've got to structure that out. But I think, trying to just dabble in different things creatively is good. And
it is, right? Like we need to exercise our creativity in a sense, right?
Yes, it's like exercising your spirituality, or exercising anything.
It's important, you know. Then it becomes more natural, and I was like, it's very interesting.
No, very much have a to-do list, daily to-do list.
Good. And you tick it off.
It's all.
That's one of my favorite things in the world. Just ticking, things that I've done, ticking the boxes.
I think my
I never thought I would be that kind of person, but I'm like,
really?
I've done that.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
feels really good.
Feels so good, to have done.
Mine's like 1,000,000 lines long.
Oh, really?
So that's terrifying to me. I'm totally that personality. Got to get better at that. Don't let it go, right?
Yes, absolutely. Good. And like with COVID and stuff, so you're not being able to travel much, right? Like and shows must be super hard. Theaters are closed and tricky.
It's devastating. There's no denying that.
Totally.
But all I can do is look at it, from a personal perspective and go. I think when you're in, shows, it's what you do. You're in a pattern. I think it's actually really healthy just to step away from that for a moment. A long moment. And in this case, and I've actually grown a lot as a person, and I've really, really checked in with what's important to me in my future and my visions and what I'm prioritizing. So, look, I want to travel again. I want to continue living the path. But luckily, having singing, dancing, and acting and other mediums like film and television and recording, and then things like there are other things that we can be creative in if you diversify and look outside the box.
Absolutely, and teaching, be able to share our gifts.
I love coaching. I love it, giving back. It's a beautiful thing to be able to gift that. And I especially love it because there's things that I never learnt heading into my career that I really prioritize to go, this is actually how it is in the industry. I just think it's imperative for them to know what they're getting themselves into.
Absolutely,
because,
right,
you don't want anyone to just you don't want anyone to, I don't like to use the word fail, but maybe not achieve what they were set out to because of something that maybe could have some knowledge could have been imparted to them at an earlier.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Awesome. So let's do one more song.
Yes.
Woo! So what's this song again?
So I'm doing something a little different. It's Try. And the song just came to me, honestly. I feel like Spirit talks me through song. And I feel like any artist, any person really during this time can relate to it. But all I heard in my head was, I'm trying as hard as I can. And so on a personal note for me, I heard this song and I went, well, this is just such a reflection of what's happening right now. I feel like I'm trying so hard, and when you're not quite seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, you know, you're not quite seeing that light and the fruits of your efforts. But also too, I think it comes from coaching, you know, people maybe 10 years my junior or something like that. I'm really seeing with the influence of socials and
social media and stuff
things like that.
Yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing. I think it has its place.
Well, yeah, sure.
It absolutely has its place, and I utilize it for the things that I feel serve me. But
it's like every technology, right? There's its positive and negative side. But
100%. But these
it's tricky.
days, I feel like there's such a focus on the external. How tanned is my skin? How long are my eyelashes? Lord knows what. And as I'm trying to coach and as I'm observing, and even within myself, even within myself, I'm trying to, you know, identify these things. There's way too much focus on the external, I feel, and not enough focus on the internal. And I know that's such a thing to say, and we all say it, but it's a big thing. And just I wanted to share this in a bit of a jigged way, which is going to be fun today. I just think it's really imperative for people to listen to this song and really value inner beauty, because honestly, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are on the outside. If you don't have that on the inside, you got nothing. And if we're talking about it from a career and industry perspective, and music, and letting it come out in your creativity, that will translate through the song, through the beauty of it. And so, yeah, I just think I'm quite passionate about that. Cool. And so I just figured, let's do that. Let's have a jam.
Absolutely. Well, thanks. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. I'm a big fan. So much fun
So
playing
am
with
I.
you. Awesome.
Put your makeup on, get your nails done, curl your hair, run the extra mile, keep it slim, so they like you. Do they like you? Get your sexy on, don't be shy, girl, take it off. This is what you want to belong, so they like you. Do you like you? You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to give it all away. You just have to get up, get up, get up, get up. You don't have to change a single thing. You don't have to try. 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 Get your shopping on at the mall. Max your credit cards. You don't have to choose. Buy it all. So they like you. Why should you care what they think of you when you're all alone by yourself? Do you like you? Do you like you? You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to wait until you break. You just have to get up, get up, and get up, get up. You don't have to change a single thing. You don't have to try. You don't have to try. You don't have to try. You don't have to try.
You don't have to.
You don't have to try. No. Take your makeup off, let your hair down, take a breath. Look into the mirror at yourself. Don't you like you? Is that like you?
So, did you guys like it? If you really liked it, please don't forget to subscribe, give it a like, and if you really like it, you want to support us, don't forget to go to the link down below and go to our Patreon account where you can help us keep going. Thank you so much. See you soon.